Well, by now you've seen what happened to this trailer on our road trip across the state, resulting in this becoming of one of the wheels. Today we're gonna fix everything that's wrong with it, including the messed up fender, the tail light that's out, new wheels and tires, a new spare tire, as well as fixing the wiring, because before we left on that trip, the wiring wasn't working. Let's cut to that really quick before we get back to fixing it. It's the day before we're leaving, and I need to get these trailer lights working. I have the plug and everything, but they just are not working. I gotta figure out if it's part of the Volvo or the trailer. Let's first double check that they actually aren't working. All right, so yeah, I just confirmed that none of the functions are working. Not the brake lights, not the running lights, and not the turn signals, nothing. So we're gonna go down the line, starting at the Volvo's side, and see if we can figure out where the connection is not working. Okay, so I am getting 14 volts on all of the pins to the taillights right now, as I have the taillights activated, so the short must be somewhere else. I think I might have found our issue. I gave this a little tug and it just came off. I think the previous owner might have just electrical taped these together to get them working for the sale. All right, let's see if just touching these together makes them work. They come on? No. Huh, I don't really have any power with these wires even. Okay, so that's working. We've got power on the yellow wire. That's continuous from the front to the back. Let's try the black wire, which I'm assuming is the brake lights. Okay, so that's working. This is getting concerning. I thought they all had power from the Volvo, but maybe they don't. Oh, and this one's just straight up on. Okay, so it would appear that all of the wires are continuous from the front to the back, except for this one, which they decided to connect to the electrical tape. So I need to figure out what isn't happening between the Volvo and the trailer, because it did have voltage, but I wasn't getting any lights, obviously. All right, so this one's fixed. That one appears to be good. Okay, so yeah, now I've confirmed that the wiring on the trailer is good, so we need to figure out what the heck is going on with the Volvo. I thought it was good, but maybe it isn't. I don't know what happened, but it seems to be working now. Let's try out all the lights, I guess. So that should be running lights. Yep, we're good there. And there's the turn signals. So well, that was really not a lot of work. I don't know exactly what I did, but it's working now, so we are good to go. There we go, now that's Volvo. That was worth doing. And our lights are still working. We're street legal, let's go. All right, well, as soon as that was taken care of course, the next trip, we smashed this one out with the tire when it blew. So I got some new tail lights here. We're gonna slap these on. They're LEDs, so I don't know, maybe they're better, whatever. They were cheap and they look cool. Let's get them on. So the old taillight was actually grounded to the body, and this one has 3 wires. So we're gonna have to ground this to the bolt when we put it on, I think. Yeah, so that was a failure. Well, time will tell if those are good connections. It's trailer wiring, so they're not too high stakes, but also, honestly, I'd say this thing could use a complete new wiring job, but that is not what we're gonna do today. You know, I didn't test it. Let's just hope it works. We'll see in a minute. Yeah, this one was wire nutted on, which is probably good enough, but all right, so that's running lights, seems to be working, and brake lights seem to be working. We're all good on this side. I promise this weird angle makes some sense, because there actually are some lights under here that are supposed to illuminate the license plate, though they aren't really gonna do much for me considering my plate is back here. Looks like it's working to me. We did a great wiring job, certified. So speaking of the license plate, you can see it took a hit here. I'm gonna take it off for now because I'm thinking about cutting off this messed up bit of fender, because I don't know if I'll be able to bend that back, but we will try to bend it back first. Check this thing out. We went right down to the cords where the fender was rubbing. Yeah, this tire served us good. This is just an old spare. It has the wrong size wheel, but it fits the Crown Vic, so I don't value it very highly, and it sure saved our ass. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to bend this back into anywhere near shape, so the question becomes, do I just chop it off? Well, I think I'm actually just gonna leave this. It looks kind of like crap, but hey, it's just a utility trailer and I don't want to be chucking rocks at people's windows, you know? So I am gonna give this a little rough up with a wire brush or something, and then we're gonna give her a quick coat of paint so it doesn't rust any more than it already has. There are a lot of dings and dents in this fender from where it was hit with the tire as it was going. All I've got with me at home, I don't want to go to the store, is flat black, so we're gonna do that and just kind of try and touch this up. We'll do the same thing to the other fender, but I don't really know if it's gonna make it look much better. All right there, I think we're gonna have one very nice looking fender, or relative to the rest of the trailer at least. The reason I blocked these off is because I didn't want it to look like I just painted this section and then not the section back there, though it probably won't make any difference. It'll get dirty in, 20 miles or whatever. The next step is to somehow extract this tire from the wheel here, from the hub, and it is very wrapped on there. I really don't want to take this off. There's also like oil in here, which might be for the bearings. I guess I'll leave this off for now until I figure out what I am gonna do. Oh, my bearing. Okay, yeah, that was by far the easiest way, but I do need to make sure I get all these up because I walk around here barefoot. Oh my God, there are a lot. I got this stuff for the Subaru Loyale's CV axles, and well, this isn't a CV, but it is an axle. I don't know, that probably ought to do it. Maybe after I'm done, I'll look it up and find out that I've done it wrong, but I'm not too worried about it. It's a trailer. Welcome to the new wheels and tires. They actually don't make tires in the same size, which is a 165. They make them in a 175 now, and so that's what we've got. I bought 2 of these tires mounted on wheels, one for each side, and then I bought a new tire in the same size for the spare wheel that is still residing on the other side. I can't help but notice this is not spinning very easily. Hopefully that frees up a little bit with time. Or maybe you can tell me how I did it wrong in the description and I can get it fixed. Well, if you've already drafted your comment, I appreciate it, but I did look it up and I put this thing on way too tight, so we're gonna loosen it up. So what you're actually supposed to do with these, it sounds like, is tighten them down until they kind of bottom out and back them off to the next castle nut area for the cotter pin. All right, there we go. Also, it might now be a little more obvious why I might have not wanted to paint the, get too much overspray on the rest of the trailer. This fender looks like it's a completely different paint, of which, of course, it is. I guess it's time to get started working on the other side, though I don't have the tire yet because UPS messed up delivering my order. So we'll have to just do everything except for the tire for now. All right, yeah, so for this wheel, we're gonna throw on this tire, which is the same size as the others. It's not much of a difference, but I also thought it'd just be nice to have new rubber, considering this tire is probably as old as the one that blew. That is one empty sounding can, but we did make it. Now I just have to wait for the UPS guy to come. He should be here later today. We can get the wheel thrown on this thing. While I wait for him though, I think it's time to clean up. I've made quite a mess out here in the driveway. Good enough. So I brought over my box of bolts. I'm thinking that I can tap these so they can actually just put a bolt in them instead of having to reach around back and get a nut. I gotta see if I have bolts that'll fit. Oh, hi kitty. What you up to? Yeah. So these both appear to be M8-1.25. Well, that isn't my best tap job, but hey, that plate's on there, so I'll call it a success overall. All right, now there really is nothing else to do but wait for that other wheel to come. UPS should be dropping it off later today, so we should have this thing mobile and up and running again. Does still sting a little bit that I had to spend $400 to $450 on a $500 trailer, but hey, I really didn't want to have that experience again. Let's get this thing put away because I don't have any reason to use it right now. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the commenter that mentioned I should have been putting this stuff in my XC70 for the power steering. not normal American style or whatever power steering fluid. This Volvo uses CHF 11S. Unfortunately, I've had the leak and been running normal power steering fluid through it for like 6 months now. And this stuff is also considerably more expensive, so I'm just gonna be running no power steering until I have time to fix it. If you did like me working on this trailer, or you just wanna see more of me in the future, hit the subscribe button. If you liked this specific video for some weird reason, well, you're kind of weird, but also maybe you should hit the like button. And I guess that's all I got for you today. I'll see you again next Friday. Bye-bye. You know, the fenders don't really look that bad. They kind of look, you know, intentional. I don't hate it, honestly. I don't hate it.